So there have been contacts, but just not at the secretary's level or
Correct.
a senior level. Okay. Are there any plans for there to be such contacts, or any plans for the secretary to potentially travel to deal with this situation? The reason I ask is that Ambassador Power at the UN this morning made some pretty powerful, strong accusations, allegations against the Russians. And I'm just wondering if anyone thinks, if the administration believes that it would be worthwhile to pursue these with Russian officials, or whether you've decided that it's more appropriate to wait until an investigation is finished.
Well, our focus right now is on seeing through a full, credible, thorough investigation. I can give you an update on the resources that the United States has made available for that. In terms of travel, there's no current plans for the Secretary to travel to the region. As you know, he always has a bag packed, and if that is a decision made that would be productive, I'm sure he'd be happy to do that. You're right, Ambassador Power, and then again, the President repeated a number of items of evidence and data that is available about what is happening on the ground. They both reaffirmed the fact that we're not going to prejudge the investigation. We want to see that move forward, and that is where we are at this point in time. With that being said, let me just finish and then we'll go. With that being said, we certainly understand that and our focus is, as the President said, and as the White House statement said last night, is, of course, continuing to call for a reduction in tensions and a de-escalation. And aside from the investigation, if there's a need to play a role in that, the Secretary or anyone in the administration is certainly ready and willing to do just that. Can I just give you an update on the staff that are the individuals who are going? So we have offered the government of Ukraine, as many of you may have seen, has issued invitations to assist with an investigation to ICAO, NTSB, Boeing, Malaysia, the Netherlands, and the European Civil Aviation Conference. We have offered assistance to the Ukrainian government, including personnel and resources from the NTSB and the FBI, which the Ukrainians have accepted. The NTSB will be sending at least one investigator to the Ukraine. The timing of this is still being determined, and our response will, of course, be guided by events as they unfold. And our understanding is at this point the FBI is preparing to deploy at least one FBI individual personnel member to Ukraine. It's also not clear on the timing of that. Of course, it remains a fluid situation, and we, of course, will be responsive to their needs moving forward.
And then last one from me, at least I hope it is, you referred to Ambassador Power's comments to the Security Council. You said that she presented items, evidence, and data. Maybe I was watching a different Security Council meeting. I mean, she certainly made some strong accusations, but I don't think she presented any evidence to back them up, or any data that would back up the claim, her claims. Is there such evidence, items, evidence, and data that you have? And two, are you willing to make it public? Because clearly there are people on the Russian side who don't buy this.
Well, Matt, what I was referring to, and I'm sorry you disagree with my terms I used to describe it, but was the information that's available, the context of what has been happening on the ground, which is what she outlined. Obviously, as she stated, as the President stated, we're going to see the investigation through. We want that to be a credible international investigation, and there isn't a separate process that we're undergoing from the United States.
So you're saying that you are not willing to make the evidence and data that you have public, or you'll give that to the investigators, but you won't make it public?
What I'm referring to is exactly what she stated publicly, which is the presence of certain systems along the border, which is the fact that, and many of them are public reports. She was outlining information about what has been happening on the ground, which I think is important for context, but we'll see the investigation see itself through.
She said that we assess that, and that's clearly a finding by the intelligence community, because they're the ones who use that language. We assess that it was fired from, this missile was fired, an SA-11 was fired. Where is the data, where's the evidence that backs that up?
There isn't additional data that we are providing publicly at this point. I think it is likely we will provide that through the investigation process.
All right, but do you understand how there are people who are skeptical of what she said, especially given previous UN Security Council presentations by Americans? I mean, I just, if you're pretty convinced about it, I would appeal to you to ask to make some of this information public. I'm not necessarily doubting any of it, but
Sure.
But when you say that she presented evidence and data, she really didn't. She presented the overall assessment
The overall
from
assessment and facts of what we've been seeing on the ground. That
Okay.
may be the more accurate way of describing it.
Okay, thank you.
James.